It's geek time, guys.
So today we are going to be reviewing the second Thor movie, Dark World, and kind of just talking about a few things that we found interesting, our opinions about all of it. So let's get started.
Awesome. Okay. First of all, this movie was hilarious. I
Much more hilarious
loved
than the
it.
last one.
Loved the humor and just the jokes. It was great. Anyways, getting to the real stuff. I just had to point that out.
It was pretty great. Okay, what did you think about Thor and like the difference between this movie and the last movie?
I felt just like the way his character developed, how he was more almost mature.
Well, and especially with the whole thing in New York during...
I guess in just Avengers, he learned that being part of a team, he learned more about that. Because in the first one, to him, team was he does everything while putting the rest of the group in danger. Whereas in Dark World, he actually communicated with his team and stuff. So I thought that was a good change.
Yeah, I thought he's still a little bit he's still arrogant.
He's still headstrong.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Thor. I'd be arrogant too if I was Thor, right? So, he's actually picked up some trickery from Loki.
Yes.
With the handcuffs and, acting for Malachy
fun.
to think that Loki's betraying them.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty awesome. He picked it up from Loki because, I guess he could have picked it up from, Tony Stark or something.
But even then, he wasn't on Tony's side, so it wouldn't have made sense.
Yeah.
Whereas he's lived with Thor forever, so. Alright.
So,
okay.
What did you think about Jane in this movie?
See, this is the movie where I actually started to enjoy Jane and her character, just because she was much more I'm not going to say independent, because that's not the right word, but she was much more aware.
Yeah, she was a much stronger character.
Yes.
But she was also too curious for her own good, but, that's the whole point of her character, so...
But that was one scene that confused me, is when she, got trapped with, the ether.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't even reach out for it. It went for her.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't... I feel like curiosity wasn't even a thing.
Well, but she was
really,
still curious about, what all these readings are coming for, and that's the whole reason she was there.
Okay, I guess that's true. But I was, just that scene in general confused me. Just the way it played out.
It was a little bit confusing.
Because the first time I watched it, I thought she, grabbed it, but then, watching it again, I was no, she just kind of, her hand kind of hovers, but she doesn't touch it.
Yeah,
so.
Why would you touch it? It's seriously. So, I wasn't really sure of the word to describe just this one particular scene. It doesn't happen in any other scene.
Which one?
So I was thinking maybe prideful or stubborn, I guess.
In which scene is this?
So Thor's taking her back to Asgard, and
Right.
they've got the whole molecules thing, and she's like, "It's a quantum field generator," and they're like, "No, it's a soul forge," and then she's like.
She's like, does it do this and this?
Right.
And they're
and then Odin walks in and she's like, who do you think you are? Who else would he be? He's on Asgard. And even if he wasn't the king of Asgard, he's still an Asgardian.
And even the way he kind of just comes in and with his regal stature and then kind of commands them I feel she should have been able to
pick it up.
Yeah, he's the king. He's telling these people what to do, and he's also talking to Thor and telling him what to do, and that.
And how he was saying kind of what he's implying with the whole, my words are mere noises to you that you ignore them completely, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
It's kind of implying that he has instructed Thor to do something, and just Jane, knowing Thor, would be wait, someone's actually being able to tell him what to do. He must be a person of high power.
Yeah. I feel that should have,
been a little bit more clear to her.
Yeah. It should have rang a bell, but...
Alright.
Moving on.
I just have a small note here. I didn't have a whole section dedicated to it, but Darcy and Ian.
Oh my goodness, that scene. Okay, Darcy, at first I was like, Darcy, why are you being so mean to this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, by the end of, like, their whole adventure together, I was like, oh, finally. Because I was actually waiting for that one, because unlike with Jane and Thor in the first movie, Darcy kind of had no, like, interest in a relationship. And it was kind of just like she just kind of realized that she liked him over time and stuff. So I felt like that was a little bit more just not necessarily romantic, but I liked the way that played out more than I liked the Jane and Thor in the first movie.
Okay, Malachy.
No, Malachy. I mean, I thought the character was cool. Just like the dark elf and like trying to like get the ether and everything, and I thought that was interesting, but I don't know. He was just an interesting character because he's not like a typical villain. Like you don't see villains like that.
He's very quiet, is what I
He
noticed.
is.
He doesn't say very much.
He's very
and when
like
he does,
conservative.
he's very mellow when he says things. Like he's not like Loki, wwhere it's like tell me or whatever.
He's just very chill.
Like,
which I felt like for a villain was different, because normally villains are like, because I mean like Loki in the first Avengers was like I am a god and stuff, and like
Hulk's just
but like
god.
But just the fact that like he was so kind of like forward, like Malachy wasn't really like that. Like he wanted the ether and he made that very clear in certain scenes, but like I feel like he isn't a very typical villain.
Yeah, so, and I did not realize that the ether was the reality stone for like the longest time.
Yeah, it was.
And then at the very end when they're like giving it to the collector, I'm like, wait, where did they get that? What's that? And it was like, oh wait, it's the ether.
Yeah.
So, I'm smart.
It's okay, we all have those moments. Alright,
So,
continuing on
to
just quick, any like other notes before we get into this topic?
So something that was mentioned, I forgot where. I think maybe it was on Instagram or something, but there's actually a picture of Thor, like his profile or whatever, and in one of his braids there's a strand of black hair. And that is Loki's hair. Like, so after he thinks that Loki has died, he actually braids a strand of Loki's hair into his own. And I thought that was
like such a
super
like brotherly
sweet.
act.
Yeah,
after like they fight for so long.
After the Avengers movie, like the fact that he still cares that much about Loki shows that Loki, in all honesty, isn't that bad of a person if Thor can still love him after all of that. So I thought that was very sweet.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, guys, Loki. This movie was hilarious, mostly because of Loki and like different lines that usually involved him in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So there was a very heartbreaking scene. I've cried in it twice now, watching it, which don't judge me for that because
it was a hard scene. It was hard to.
So after Frigga dies,
who is Thor's mom? For those of you who don't know.
Well, if they don't know, then we've just spoiled the entire movie.
Well, I mean, we said there was gonna be spoilers, so
then Thor's coming to like get Loki on board with this plan, and then he's like, no more illusions, brother, and then it just melts away. And just Loki's appearance and how heartbroken he is that his mother, the only person
that actually
he thinks cared about him, has died.
And like it just like the furniture that's all over the room and like everything, just because like when he's first talking to Thor, he has like his regular kind of like mocking attitude and stuff, and like everything's perfect. But as soon as that goes away, you just see like sorrow and like grief. It's really hard. It's just like, because then you honestly see that Loki does have emotion, like sadness, like he feels that, because that for him was like
and he cares.
Terrible. Yeah,
a lot of villains, everybody's like, they don't care about anything, And in this one, like, Loki cares.
And that's why I feel like that's another reason why he's not a full villain. Because, like, he does express a lot of feeling, and he obviously tries to get power, but usually it's not because he wants, like, some people on his side. He likes to just carry out things that'll help him.
And he wants acceptance. Like, that's the main struggle with his character, is nobody's accepting him. And to be honest, his actions really aren't helping with that. But, like, ruling Earth, he wants them to, like him and stuff.
Just the way he goes about it is
very wrong indeed.
Yes, but
I mean, it's Loki, guys.
All right.
And
can we go into the actual, like, more, like, uplifting parts that are really hilarious?
Okay, you go first.
I loved the part when Thor had, like, just taken Loki out of the scene. He was, like, shape-shifting, and he, like, turned Thor into Sif, and he's like, wow, brother, you look so...
You look ravishing.
Yes. Oh, that was hilarious. And then he turned into Captain America, which...
I can feel the righteousness burning through my veins, or something like that.
Flowing through my veins. And he's like...
You want to have an arousing discussion about truth.
That was such a funny scene. Just, like, the way they did that, I thought, like, that whole scene was hilarious. Just the fact that he was, like, changing into other characters from, like, the movie or past movies. And just the way he, like, said their lines, like, let's have a rousing discussion about truth. Like, the way he says that, like, I feel like Captain America would never say that, but just, he, like,
but it
gives it off
pretty
his
much
character.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
I don't know.
The next hilarious scene, well, not the next one in chronological order.
No, but...
was they're on the Dark Elves' ship trying to escape from Asgard. And Loki's commentary the entire time
is hilarious.
Was fabulous.
I think you missed a column. Shut up.
Oh, look at that. You've just decapitated your grandfather.
Oh, is she okay?
No, he says, oh dear, is she dead?
Oh, right. Yeah, just those funny and small commentary moments that Tom Hiddleston did.
Your commentary isn't at all distracting, Loki.
Not at all.
No. So that was pretty great.
That was.
All right, do you want to talk about the one in between those two scenes?
Okay, well, there's two that I'm going to mention, but one of them was when, after Loki was taken out of the prison by Thor, and, like, all of his friends, they're, like, sending Thor off, and then, like, as Loki walks away, like, Sif, like, doesn't she have, like, a sword or something? Yeah, she has a sword.
With a sword.
And then she's like, if you hurt him, I will kill you.
If you betray him, I will kill you.
And then, like, just all of his other friends do that, and he's like, evidently there is a line.
Like, so, oh gosh, what's his name? I can't remember his name, the guy with the red beard.
Yes.
So, he like, stops Loki with his, like, hand, and he's like, you betray him, and I'll, like, what does he say? He says something like, don't you dare betray him. And Loki's like, let me guess, you'll kill me? Evidently, there will be a line. It was just, like, such a smart alecky comment.
Especially because, like,
fabulous.
Yeah, that was a really awesome scene. And then the second one I want to touch on is when, I don't know what his name is, we call him Prince Charming.
Because he's Prince Charming in Once Upon a Time in the first movie. In the second movie, he's a different person.
Yes. But he has the blonde hair, and, like, he usually wears
the goatee.
Yes.
He's got a goatee.
Mm-hmm. But I loved it when he, like, when they get pushed off the ship, and then
shoves Loki out of the...
Yes. And then Loki falls, and then Prince Charming's like, oh, Loki, I don't know the exact name. Do you have it?
No, I don't have it written down, but I memorized a lot of lines. So he says, it seems your time in prison has made you no less agile, Loki.
Agile, okay, I was going to say graceful, but...
Or maybe it is graceful.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't remember. I know it's either agile or graceful.
But that scene was just hilarious because...
Great. For Asgard!
Yes.
Except he's fighting against Asgard, so, like...
It's kind of a weird, ironic... Well, not ironic, just... It doesn't really...
Yeah, and technically it is for Asgard, but...
Well, yes, but in that sense, it's not. But That was a hilarious scene. I loved that scene. That was awesome. But yeah, just Loki's humor in general. And I also really liked the scene when Thor and Loki had the attack, like the illusion planned and stuff. That was really awesome. I like that.
And he's a really good fighter. Like,
He is.
He has a single dagger, and he has like 4 of the dark elves on him, and he defeats all of them and has time to run over and save Thor from being killed.
Yeah.
Like, he's an amazing fighter. You can
Especially-
disagree with me, but he, like...
Just with daggers, like, they're not easy
And,
to
like, we
use.
didn't see the whole battle scene, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't using, like, tricks with that. Like, he
I
was
doubt it.
using
I
a
think-
dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and not even 2 daggers. 1.
Which is very skillful.
Yeah. Geek out, guys.